Play a slow song. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. Play a slow song. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna 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 turn it up and then I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. Give it to me like I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. Drop it.
How's everyone doing? How is everyone doing? So, we got another show for you. And like I always say, if you're not a subscriber here, you're new, you just swung by to check out what this channel is about. I cover a lot of times trucking fraud in the trucking industry. And lately, past 2 months, been working with a special ally. This ally is very concerned what's going on in trucking. And he has now committed himself to doing full analysis reports and behavioral analysis for these frauds in trucking. So I work alongside with him. We do some very deep dives and investigative work in uncovering who and what these frauds are up to. This could include money laundering, churches where they're bringing over people from other countries to put them in their trucks and do their dirty deeds, multiple motor carrier authorities, which is chameleon carriers, dirty brokerages. I mean, you name it, folks. We have everything. We have everything and a lot of stuff. And this is what it's come to start doing these analysis reports and then putting them public and making sure they're filed with the proper authorities, whether it's FMCSA, Homeland Security, FBI, OIG, whoever floats our boat. So I've obtained a federal referral file that exposes a massive scheme targeting the expedite and under 10,000 pounds community. The company in question, I've covered many a times on this show. I've maybe 3-4 videos, one very recently. The company in question, Hipix Logistics, has filed official documents claiming to be a tiny operation with just 2 power units and 1 non-commercial vehicle. But investigators allege this non-commercial motor vehicle filing is a deliberate camouflage by pretending to be a small courier using vans under 10,000 pounds. They stay off the FMCSA's heavy-duty audit radar. The reality, leaked evidence suggests they are actually running a massive fleet of 160-plus drivers moving freight nationwide. And I've covered this in past shows where actually he used to have 2 authorities. I believe one was showing 99 vehicles, and then after I first exposed him, he went down to 1 authority, and it literally shows, I believe, 3 or 2 vehicles now and 2 or 3 drivers. If you're in a Sprinter or box truck, you are the target, 100%. We now have proof of the trap, and we need to help every carrier and driver out there understand what they are looking at. Let's take a look at the insurance policy, which I will show you here very shortly. I want you to look at exactly at the auto liability section, specifically where it lists the coverage type. You are looking for a box check scheduled autos, often known in the insurance world as symbol 7. Here's what this means. If you see scheduled autos or symbol 7, it means only the specific trucks written on the company's list are insured. If your truck's VIN is not on that specific list, you have 0 coverage from them. In Hipix's case, the file shows their policy covers only 3 specific trucks. For the other 160 drivers, that symbol 7 policy effectively doesn't exist. Let me show you the policy here real quick. So as you can see here, On the left, B, automobile liability. Scheduled autos is the only thing checked off, and at the bottom, there is 3 VIN numbers: a 2019 Ram truck, a 2018 Freightliner truck, and a 2006 GMC junkie truck. 20 years old, okay? We know why they play this game. Maybe we'll cover it on another show one day, but it's not so much important right now because usually in the expedite industry, they want vehicles 10 years or younger. 10 years or younger. But yet he lists a 20-year-old 2006 GMC box truck. So let's go back here. This brings us to the FMCSA's own guidance. They have been asked if you can just fix this by listing the carrier as an additional insured on your own policy. The FMCSA's answer guidance is no. This is the smoking gun. You cannot fix a symbol 7 gap with an additional insured certificate. If a carrier tells you otherwise, they are lying and violating federal law. Here's the part that will bankrupt you, and most drivers never read it until it's too late. You might think it's fine. I have my own policy. You need to check your exclusions. Most modern commercial policies specifically exclude coverage if you are hauling for hire under another carrier's authority who is supposed to provide primary liability. So here's the nightmare scenario. You crash while hauling a HIPX load. HIPX insurer denies the claim because of symbol 7. You aren't on their list. Your insurer denies the claim because of the for hire exclusion. You are left completely naked. No coverage, no defense attorney, just you and $1 million lawsuit. Let's show the FMCSA here. Is the financial responsibility requirement met when an owner-operator leaseor provides the motor carrier leasee a copy of the policy and Form MCS-90, where the carrier is named as an additional insured to the policy, Form MCS-90? Section 387.7, Financial Responsibility Required, Guidance Q&A. Is the financial responsibility requirement met when an owner-operator, leaseor, provides the motor carrier leasee a copy of the policy and Form MCS-90, where the carrier is named as an additional insured to the policy Form MCS-90? Guidance: no. The motor carrier has the responsibility to obtain the proper financial responsibility levels. So if they aren't insuring you and they aren't owning the trucks, what are they actually doing? The referral alleges this is a textbook case of unauthorized brokerage. Here's how the scheme works. They go onto load boards, platforms like LoadHive, and accept freight as a carrier. They don't put that freight on their own 3 insured trucks. They rip the load and dispatch it to you, the ghost fleet, while taking a massive cut of the money. Because they don't have exclusive possession of your truck and don't insurance, they aren't acting as a carrier. They're acting as a broker. But because they don't have a broker's bond or license to do this, it is illegal. Finally, just to show you how little this company cares about the law or your life, look at their waiver. Their contract forces you to sign a document saying you waive all rights to sue them, even for their own negligence. Here's the problem. That is illegal. That's in their contract. We have the contract. A lot of you drivers have the contract. Go and look it over. Under Tennessee statute, Title 65, you cannot contract away liability for your own negligence in a motor carrier agreement. It is void against public policy. He is based out of Tennessee. So not only are they coercing you, not only are they uninsured, but they are forcing you to sign legal waivers that aren't even worth the paper they're printed on. They are reckless, they are incompetent, and they are putting everyone at risk. If you're an expediter, listen to me. The FMCSA has said no. Listing a carrier as additional insured does not make you legal. It just makes you the fall guy when the crash happens. Check their safety rating. I covered it recently where they had a driver under the influence in a larger truck. Check for symbol 7 and read your exclusions. Don't let them hide behind your insurance. They're not the only ones doing it. We're going to be going through all of these guys. We're going to be doing full analysis reports on all of them. It's all going to get submitted. It's all going to get documented. You drivers are at a great risk for what they are doing, not only to you, but to the industry and to the very good people in this industry. So let's show you some stuff that has been filed. I know you want to see the goodies. So we're going to go, let's see, poof. And this is what we have here. Behavioral analysis. Now, a lot of stuff's been redacted. We can't show you everything. Now, I have exclusive coverage to show you this. It was sent directly to me by who we're going to label as Agent X. So whenever you hear Agent X on my show, he's working very hard in the background, putting these reports together. Let's go over it. It's 4 quick little pages. And then I have another document, which is the actual analysis. Behavioral analysis and profiles. Organization, Hippix Logistics as company. It's in our DNA, the facade of a down-to-earth, wholesome, and caring company that inspires. However, the hypocrisy is in plain sight. They have come to the false belief this is a victimless crime and know there is little to zero enforcement. Predatory shadow enterprise, high risk equals high profit. Institutional sociopathy, lack of moral responsibility. Operational dissociative identity, intentionally cultivated to defraud and evade regulators. Aversion conditioning, fear, full forfeiture of rate without actual damages, unconscionable. Strategic negligence, designed to shift liability to owner-operators. Willful, not by mistake. Now, subject, you can see it's redacted, but I can tell you who it is. Now, this subject one is Mr. Hippix himself, the founder, the person who signs. Behavioral archetype, the sociopathic executant. I hope I got that right. Role, the blunt instrument of the operation. Psychological profile, risk tolerance, pathologically high. He demonstrates a willingness to sign legal documents that are demonstrably void or perjurious. MCS 150 filings without hesitation. Moral reasoning, external, supposed to be locus, I went over this with him, external locus of control. His actions are driven by the belief that everyone does it, indicating a lack of internal ethical boundaries. He views compliance not as a duty, but as an obstacle to be bypassed. Operational competence, low, cannot comprehend the know what you do not know. Wants the ownership notoriety, but lacks the business acumen. He functions as the fall guy, signing documents he likely does not fully comprehend, shielding the more sophisticated partners from direct liability. Dominant trait, institutional sociopathy. He executes the fraudulent scheme, signing the leases, recruiting the ghost fleet, with a complete disregard for the potential catastrophic harm to the public or the financial ruin of the drivers. Subject 3, managing partner, benefits coordinator. I believe this is Miss, what's her name? Court or Georgina or whatever her name is. It's the female partner in this whole operation. I've covered it on other shows. Analyst note, no insurance license in Tennessee or New York. Only license on record for insurance is Florida. The most social of the group. This profile suggests school affiliations, potentially sororities, social clubs, athletics. Behavioral archetype, the complicit architect. Role, the legitimizer and rationalizer. Psychological profile, note, weakest link. Professional license is at stake. Background influence with 11 plus years as an AFLAC insurance agent and a degree in psychology. She possesses the specific knowledge required to understand the fraud. Calculated malice. Unlike, I don't know who that one is, it's redacted, I have to go back and ask. She cannot claim ignorance. She understands the difference between scheduled auto and non-auto coverage. Her involvement suggests strategic negligence. She likely structured the insurance requirements to create the appearance of coverage while knowing the carrier policy was insufficient. The sanitization agent. She uses her corporate background to provide a veneer of respectability to an otherwise predatory operation. She is the safe face, presented to brokers and insurers. Dominant trait, intellectual arrogance. She operates under the victimless crime delusion, believing that her clever paperwork maneuvers absolve her of the moral weight of running an uninsured fleet. Forensic document analysis, the cut and paste contract. Evidence suggests that, like I said, it's redacted, it's one or more of them, collectively constructed the independent contractor / lease agreement, but the document reveals a profound level of incompetence and cut and paste plagiarism that undermines its legal validity. Forensic findings, reversal of legal roles, leaseor versus leasee. In a standard 49 CFR Part 376 lease, the owner-operator is the leaseor, providing the equipment, and the motor carrier is the leasee, leasing the equipment. The HIPICS contract reverses this fundamental legal definition. It explicitly identifies HIPIC Logistics LLC as leaseor and the driver as the leasee. This reversal suggests they are using a template for a rental car or equipment finance agreement rather than a federal motor carrier lease, or they simply do not understand the definition of the words. Template insertion artifacts. The document contains garbled syntax, typical of a find and replace error, such as the leasee hereby leases the equipment of leaseor if owned, or the leaseor hereby leases the equipment of leasee if owned. This phrasing is legally nonsensical and indicates that they downloaded a generic template and haphazardly pasted HIPICS Logistics into the fields without reviewing the legal context. Conclusion. This is not a contract drafted by a transportation attorney. It is a Frankenstein document assembled by whichever one it is, redacted, to create the illusion of a binding agreement. It serves as a psychological prop to intimidate drivers, despite being likely unenforceable in court due to its incoherence and violation of truth in leasing regulations. Subject 3, which is this Joseph guy, Joseph Court, I believe it is, or so. Joseph Carnes. Managing partner, technical operations. Behavioral archetype, the correctional warden. Role, the system architect and enforcer. Psychological profile. Background influence. His documented history as a behavioral therapist, 3+ years at Carlton Palms, and education in criminal justice / corrections directly informs his management style. Methodology. He has gamified coercion. He views the fleet not as employees, but as subjects in a controlled environment. The 100% revenue forfeiture penalty and the use of the Discord app for surveillance are digital equivalents of negative reinforcement techniques used in institutional settings. Cognitive dissonance. He exhibits operational disassociation, separating the human reality of a driver fatigue from the data of an on-time delivery. He likely rationalizes his coercive systems as necessary structure for the drivers, viewing himself as the benevolent authority figure in a chaotic industry. Dominant trait, technocratic control. He believes his systems, apps / contracts are superior to federal regulations. So, as you can see, Agent X is putting in a lot of work. He's doing a lot of studying. He's reviewing everything on these frauds. This was only 4 pages, folks. Now, I have another 44 documents. I'm not going to read through all of it. So this is what I will tell you. If you're a motor carrier or you're a broker, if you email axel.liveshow@gmail.com, when I'm finished with the show, I can send you these PDFs. You can get yourself a Starbucks. You can look it over with your agents, your compliance team, or your wife. It's long, but I'm going to read you some of it. Let me get to it. And I want to point out another thing here. This was his website, and I've showed it before, but as you scroll down here, you will even see with his 3 units on his policy, yet he advertises here straight truck, box truck, sprinter, and cargo van. This is another problem, just like in the last show where his one driver driving a straight truck or box truck was under the influence and was popped. So let's get into, now as you can see, these documents, they're all stamped. You do not have the authority to do anything with these documents. They're stamped federal intake, do not copy. I have authorization from Mr. Agent to share it with who I believe should have this if they contact me. He wants this to get out. He wants the good people to know that there are people out here doing a lot more than some of these other so-called vetting platforms or, let's say, freight fraud task force knuckleheads. So this is dated and stamped December, it was dated December 5th, 2025, and it was received and file stamped December 11th, 2025. This went to the FMCSA Enforcement Division. Urgent safety complaint. Hippix Logistics got their MCDOT number to whom it may concern, and he's submitting the complaint based on public records, Hippix own contracts, certificates of insurance, and FMCSA safety data. I have good faith belief that Hippix is, hold on one second, operating a large ghost fleet of unscheduled and effectively uninsured vehicles under its authority, violating the truth in leasing regulations in 49 CFR Part 376, including the requirement that authorized carrier have exclusive possession, control, and use of leased equipment for the duration of the lease. Coercing drivers through a 100% revenue forfeiture clause that pressures them to violate safety regulations contrary to 49 CFR 390.6. Misstating or grossly under-reporting power units, drivers, and mileage on its MCS 150 in violation of 49 CFR 390.19G and 390.35, and functioning in substance as an unauthorized broker/dispatch operation while using its motor carrier authority as a facade to shift risk onto economically dependent owner-operators. Given a substantial likelihood that Hippix has over 160 owner-operators, which we've shown before, which they have acknowledged and bragged about in some of their videos, running under its authority without primary liability coverage provided by the carrier. I believe this situation presents an immediate danger to the motoring public and warrants urgent FMCSA intervention. I am also copying this referral to the U.S. Department of Transportation, Office of Inspector General, due to the magnitude and deliberate nature of the conduct described. He puts all their information. He talks about the lease, carrier policy. It goes on. I'm just going to scroll through here. Talks about the ghost fleet, the drivers, manages over 160 drivers, runs approximately 330,000 miles in a single month, equals 4 million miles per year. Those figures cannot be reconciled with Hippix MCS 150 filing of 2 power units, 3 drivers, and 240,225 annual miles, 2024, and strongly indicate that Hippix is dispatching a large ghost fleet of owner-operators whose equipment is not scheduled on Hippix auto policy. Like I said, I'm going to breeze through this slowly here. Fails to state that Hippix maintains required public liability coverage for all equipment operating. It's very large, folks. Accident waiver, Tennessee anti-indemnity statute. If I sat here and read all this to you guys, your mind would spin around. But what I do have is I do have the PDF. I can forward it to you. You can file it. You can all know that we are coming for all of these crooks. Many of I've exposed in the past. Agent X has come to me. He says, I'm going to write up these reports because this is out of control. These guys all need to be taken down, punished, fined, some of them maybe even jail. We're working on some very large projects. I can't say too much because they're actually getting sent to everybody as well as an attorney. We're seeing, and not with this company as far as we know, but we're seeing money laundering. I can't say too much. There's so much going on, money getting shipped overseas. There's large criminal organizations. I've said it before in this trucking industry. You know, everybody's concentrating on the non-domicile CDL holders, the illegal immigrant drivers. And I've always said that the problem is with the carrier and broker authorities and the crooks that are running them. So as we go through these documents here, you'll see this is very long. He's very detailed. fleet safety, management control. I'd love to read it all to you. I really would. Maybe we'll put it in an audiobook. He's got exhibits, digital video evidence. He has links as he's attached to this document with timestamps. See here, he's got the exhibit 1. It's showing the authority of HIPAA. If anyone you want to know, it's MC 1097654, US DOT 3979483. You'll see there are 2 power units, 1 non-commercial unit, and 3 drivers. Here's the policy. He has also entered as an exhibit and with highlighting scheduled autos along with the only 3 vehicles that are listed. He's got the SMS safety measurement report here with this VIN number. And there's something about this VIN number. I can't remember exactly. It's either is or isn't on the policy. I believe he said something. He's got he does have the contractor agreement here. You see that? So if you're watching Mr. Hippix, we have everything. We have everything, and there's no more playing around. You frauds are going to get exposed to the maximum. Everything is getting documented. These analysis reports and behavioral analysis, they're all getting done. As many and as fast as we can have them done. He's currently working on, I think, about 6 of them. As you can see here, the whole contract, he's got everything. It's 44 pages. You see here, I think I'm on 18. And I'm just going to scroll through here lightly while I'm talking. So that way, if you don't want to get the PDF, but you want to pause and read this or whatever. Here's the contractor agreement. This guy is dirty. He's been dirty for a long time. He thinks he's smart. He thinks he's slick. He's done other things. He should have known not to mess with Axel, because this is what I do. And I have a nice here. Failure to arrive at pickup and or destination on time is agreed to with Hippix Logistics. Over 4 hours incurs a reduction in total charges by 100%. So basically, if you're 4 hours late, he's just going to take all your money, all of it. That right there is a huge red flag. Let's continue. And even it says there, he should have highlighted the next one. In all cases where the customer refuses to pay Hippix Logistics due to a late delivery by the contractor's pay will be reduced by 100%. In all cases where the customer refuses to pay the Hippix Logistics due to a safety violation by the contractor's pay will reduce by 100%. There ain't no partial, there ain't nothing. They're basically saying, drivers, we taking it all. We taking it all. Like I said, it's a lot. This is probably why there's so much. It's got all this contract in here. Let me just keep going here. Let me check something. So PO Box 2175. Yeah, I just wanted to check that. Let me go back. Okay. As you can see here, I didn't want to make the video too long. I know if I read this all to you guys, it's going to be too long. You're going to get the gist. You see what we're up to? Like I said, we're not messing around. This is serious business. This will be posted here on YouTube. It will also be linked over to TikTok. A lot of the drivers have been coming from my TikTok over here to the YouTube. I want them to be fully aware of what these crooks are doing to them and what can happen. So basically, you guys, they want you to sign off that you're going to take full liability. You guys are not properly insured. Stop doing this, especially if you have a carrier authority. You should not be taking loads for any of these guys, from any of them. You're basically double brokering. And let me tell you something, and I said it in a TikTok. You guys are doing this. A lot of these good brokers, they know. They see your names. They see your phone numbers. And a lot of them are aware because they're talking to me and I send them stuff. So I had one the other day, I believe it was Panther. A driver tried to sign up with them and they came back and they said, what's your association with Fox, who's another crook? And I don't know, they sent them some kind of form to fill out. These brokers, you know, the good ones are the ones that don't want to get caught up in this nonsense. They are turning off and blocking these guys because I'm telling you now, I'm putting this out to the public. Nobody can sit here and deny that they don't know about it. If stuff starts happening, accidents and all this stuff, shippers, freight stolen or lost or damaged due to these frauds, it's going to come back on these brokers as well. Believe me, I'll help with that. Company policy, no texting or messaging or talking, hell, cell phone with driving. Like I said, we're on page 33. I'm just lightly breezing up here. I just want to make sure this is all documented in the video. So basically that's why I'm scrolling here. And make sure if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section under the video. And make sure you share this. Make sure you get this out to the other brokers or agents that truly care about the fraud in the industry, as well as good drivers or drivers that don't have the knowledge because they're newer to the industry. Going to keep going here. We're almost there, folks. Let's see. Even down here at the bottom, it mentions Discord. And that's another thing with a lot of these frauds. They want to use Discord app and they want to use Telegram app to hide some of their fraudulent activities and their double brokering that's occurring in the background. But, you know, Axel, he's getting a lot of BOLs from drivers that are coming forward from these crooks. Lots. And you know what that means, brokers? I told you, I'm going to throw all the customers out there. I'm going to throw your information out there. So I would get on the Axel train because it's not going to look good. Keep going here. 37 while under the company load. Like I said, you can pause, stop, do what you got to do, read this slowly, or axel.liveshow@gmail.com, and I'll just send you the whole PDF. You can frame it, you can put it in a binder, you can keep it in your office, maybe line it up on the wall for all your agents to study so they can learn something. Let's see here, page 1. Look on the bottom here. HIPX Logistics must be listed as additional insured in regard to general auto liability. Certificates must also show listed vehicle, year, make, VIN, as well as all listed drivers. And we covered that in the beginning of the show. Folks, I don't know what to say. It's here. Like I said, this is the analysis report, the behavioral. Mr. HIPX, I hope you enjoyed another one of your shows, and I probably have 2 or 3 more for you on you. You frauds that do this and came into this industry, I'm after you. I'm after you with the network of people I put together, with this agent that is working with me. We're not going to have it. We're not going to have this fraud in trucking just slide by. For years, people have allowed this to happen. People are lazy. They don't even know how to investigate this stuff or dig into it. And any of you using these vetting platforms, I bet you if you go look on some of these vetting platforms, they're giving this guy probably a passing grade. What does that tell you about the vetting platforms? So, folks, I hope you enjoyed the show. Hit the thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. This has been another probably boring or interesting video to you, depending on whether you're in trucking or not and you want to know about this stuff. But I'm Axel. I'm here to stay. Working on some big juicy stuff. Now, a couple videos back, I talked about a 2,000 double brokered list. Now, I'm going to be able to pull some stuff out from that, but it might get to a point where I won't be able to share anything from it. We're waiting on the attorney, special attorney, and if he gives us the red light, we have to wait until the federal investigation is done for reasons I cannot disclose at this time. But some of these stuff that I might mention to you, some I may not be able to show you because, like I said, it's once it goes under federal investigation, if the feds say, hey, my brother, you got to hold up and wait for us, then that's what we have to do. Because some of these companies, I know they're going to be looking at all their authorities. They're going to be pulling bank statements and all kinds of stuff. And trust me, I can't wait to do some of those shows because those are going to be some. You won't believe what's going on in this trucking industry. You won't believe it. This, they talk about the carriers drive down the rates. No. I don't want to hear that no more. Yeah, they contribute to it, but there's a bigger element that's occurring here, and it's with all these fraudulent companies. So I don't know. We're gonna see what happens here, but let me know what you think of the show, folks. And Hippix, kick rocks, buddy, because now the government's gonna know, and it's all documented and filed 100%. So I'm Axel. I'll catch you guys in the next one.